Okay, the first thing I did was import my background onto the stage and then resized it to fill up the whole stage and then rename it background and then lock the layer, and then I import the different parts that I'm going to be using on this scene into the library. I didn't do it as import bitmap symbols or whatever it is because that's how it got pixelated the first time I did it, and if you just group it in Illustrator, it'll keep it clear. So I'm gonna insert a keyframe and then drag my character onto the stage and resize her so it looks like she's sitting at the table. And then I'm just gonna import everything else. The difference between importing to the stage and to the library is that if you import it to your library, you just drag it out, and if you import it to the stage, it'll automatically place it for you. So here I'm adding in my chair and dragging it behind my character and then shrinking it down so it looks like she's sitting. And now I'm adding a layer for the bowl and dragging it onto the stage and resizing it. And then I'm going to do the same with the milk and the boring cereal. And whenever you create a new layer, it automatically inserts a blank keyframe in the first position. So now I'm adding in my music layer and I'm putting it on the bottom. It doesn't matter where you put your sound layers because it's not going to show up on the stage anyway. So I want this to be split up into two parts. So I was trying to see how many frames I would need for 15 seconds at 24 frames per second. So the first half is 360. So I'm stretching all of the main parts out to 360, except for my character because she's going to be moving. So I decided at the 240, oh, never mind. So I'm creating a motion tween so that she can move and dragging her out to about the 240 point and locking the rest of my layers so they won't move. And whenever you create a motion tween, you go to a certain spot on the timeline, and then once you move it, it automatically creates a keyframe for you. So I'm inserting a blank keyframe there so that after that point she won't show up anymore in that pose. And since I'm trying to create a zoom effect, I'm just going to scale her with the motion tween so that over time she gets bigger. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the background to make it bigger so it's zooming with her. And I'm going to start to make everything else bigger and move them off, well, out of the view of the stage. So that was my first test run and it came out terribly. So I went back and fixed it just by stretching things to make sure that it moves cleanly and doesn't look sloppy. There we go. Okay. So now I got it to the point where it works. So now I'm moving things around again, just keeping the zoom effect. And here she moves a little bit. So I added in her second pose. And things on the outside of the stage won't show up on the stage anymore. So I don't have to delete them, just move them out of the way. And this is an outline onion skin. So it shows everything is just an outline, which is different from a normal onion skin. So here's our third pose, and I'm using the normal onion skin so I can get it to about the same size as the pose before it. So it looks like she just moved instead of it being a completely new picture. And then I create a motion tween for it and drag it out until I get to the last point of the first 15 seconds where the scene changes. And since I want to create the effect of it zooming into her eye, I just stretch her out until her eye takes up the entire stage. And when you play it, it'll just look like it's zoomed to that point because of the motion tween. So this is what it looks like. So here, it just looks like it's zooming in on her, but you can still tell the background's not moving. So I have to scale the background and the chair as well, so it doesn't look sloppy. So I'm still trying to stretch it and get it right. So here's a preview of what it looks like up to this point. And that's kind of how I wanted it to look. So now this is the background I did for the second scene. And since the sky is changing, I'm using 7 different images for the background instead of just one like I did for the first one. So that it looks like the sky is moving and changing colors. And I'm trying to line it up perfectly so the mountains, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't look like it's moving, like it's making a smooth transition, like just the sky is moving. And each part is about 3 frames long, 3 or 4, and this is what it looks like at full speed. So that's just a basic tutorial of how I made my video. If you have any questions, I'll answer them.